While Adelaide is breathing a little easier over its water security, the same cannot be said for Eyre Peninsula. For some years there's been a strong push for a desal plant, but despite pledges and of course many reviews, no action. Now the warnings over the fragility of the region's water security are being ramped up. In such a dry country, it's no surprise Australians make a big fuss of great water projects.
Farmers have dreamed about it for almost a century. Now it's complete.
It was on a much smaller scale, but with no less pride, that the Polder Basin was opened in the 1960s on South Australia's parched Eyre Peninsula.
It gave people security. Because there were many places on Eyre Peninsula where there's very little underground water. And when you've got stock, especially in the summertime, you've got to have reliable systems of water or you're going to perish them. So it gave people confidence.
There are a number of underground water resources or basins on Eyre Peninsula. They are, according to long-time West Coast farmer and former Liberal MP Graham Gunn, crucial to underpinning supply on the peninsula. But residents are now saying the effects of over-extraction are evident, such as on these trees, and some fear collapse.
Well, I would hate to think of the consequences because there really isn't other adequate supplies.
And he is not the only one saying so. This week, another West Coast resident and former MP, Liz Penfold, turned up at North Terrace to deliver her report into the state of Eyre Peninsula's water to a parliamentary committee.
The Lincoln basins, the basins across the whole of Eyre Peninsula, are a disaster. It's catastrophic. People are worried about the Murray River, but the Murray River is, well, we've had rain. But rain's not going to be a solution to Eyre Peninsula's problems. The basin at Polder has no more water in it that can be pumped into the system. The Robinson Basin that serviced Streaky Bay now is actually taking water out of the system.
Who then does this affect? Is this just an issue for farmers, or are we talking about people in towns on Eyre Peninsula?
Everybody on Eyre Peninsula. The animals, the people, everybody is affected unless they have their own supply, of course. If they have their own supply and are completely separate, perhaps they won't be affected. But it's actually sending people bankrupt. For many years we've had problems at Ceduna where the water is so hard that it solidifies in the pipes, it ruins all their equipment, all the water heaters, the electric jugs. Any piece of equipment that has water running through it, of course, the life is extremely short. So it's already cost millions of dollars to the people up near Wirrala and Ceduna and up in that area. Streaky Bay had its own supply, but that was pumped to the state where it was just not going to be enough for the community.
You do have Murray water there, though, now, do you not?
Much to my disgust, 1.4 gigalitres of River Murray water can be pumped through the system, up to 2.3 gigalitres. We used to take 13 gigalitres onto Eyre Peninsula, and with reductions, it's gone down to about 9 to 10 gigalitres. But 1 to 3 gigalitres, even if they are pumping it through, and I'm not sure that they are, is not going to be a solution to anybody's problem.
What is the solution then, in your view?
I think the solution has always been that we need desalination plants.
Now, this is a contentious issue for some, I think, on Eyre Peninsula. We had a call today. Somebody obviously knew you were coming in to be interviewed, and they said there's no question about what she's saying about the basins. They are in trouble. Everything she's saying about that's correct, but we don't need a desal plant.
Well, if they think that there's another solution, I will be very surprised for the quantity of water we need, because we can't keep pumping the basins. Already the water is down to such an extent that it's below sea level in the southern basins. So the water incursion has started, and once the water incursion starts, it's very difficult to stop. It would take years and years, even if we stop pumping now.
How much time is there before a decision needs to be made on some other alternative supply?
There is no time left. We're past the time when the decisions should have been made.